Dear students, welcome to you everybody on my third online class. I hope you are safe and sound by the grace of Almighty and staying at home in this situation. I am also well. I am Muhammad Tauhid Reza, Assistant Teacher English, Chamirabazar Asmata School and College, Fultola Khulna. Dear students, today I am going to discuss with you another important topic of your English second paper grammatical part, that is changing sentences. Dear students, you know changing sentences is a huge discussion. So here we have to change all types of sentences according to our syllabus, such as affirmative to negative, assertive to interrogative, assertive to imperative, assertive to exclamatory, active to passive, simple to complex, simple to compound, complex to compound, and positive to comparative, positive to superlative, comparative to superlative, and its vice versa. So it is so difficult for us to learn all these topics within a class. It may take 10 or more classes to get a clear conception about changing sentences. Dear students, you know changing sentences have another name, that is transformation of sentences, and it is very known to you. So dear students, at first we will know what is transformation of sentences. Transformation of a sentence is all about changing its form without altering its meaning. In Bangla, we can say transformation of sentence holo sentencer অর্থ ঠিক রেখে গঠনগত পরিবর্তন. So dear students, today I am going to discuss with you only a part of transformation of sentences, and that is affirmative to negative. Today I will discuss with you how we can change affirmative sentences into negative sentences. So dear students, let's take some examples. Dear students, here I have already written some examples of affirmative sentences. It is not all. After completing these sentences, I will show more examples. So dear students, follow the board and follow the first sentence. The first sentence is, only the optimistic are accepted by all. Here the affirmative sentence contains a word, that is only, and we know if the word only indicates any person, persons or God, then we have to, or we will use none but instead of the word only. So the answer will be none but the optimistic are accepted by all. In Bangla, we can say যদি কোনো অ্যাফার্মেটিভ সেন্টেন্সে অনলি থাকে এবং সেই অনলি যদি কোনো ব্যক্তি বা ব্যক্তিদের বা সৃষ্টিকর্তা বা আল্লাহকে নির্দেশ করে, তখন আমাদের সেই অনলির পরিবর্তে নাউন ভার্ব ব্যবহার করতে হয়। তাই আমরা এখানে সেন্টেন্সটিতে অনলি এর পরিবর্তে আমরা নাউন ভার্ব ব্যবহার করেছি, যেহেতু এখানে অনলি দ্বারা ব্যক্তিদের বোঝাচ্ছে। So dear students, follow the next sentence. The next sentence is also contains with only, and the word only indicates here a thing. We know if the word only indicates any object or anything, we use nothing but instead of the word only. So the answer will be nothing but books can remove the darkness of ignorance. In Bangla we can say, যদি অ্যাফার্মেটিভ সেন্টেন্সে অনলি থাকে এবং অনলি যদি কোনো বস্তুকে নির্দেশ করে, তাহলে আমাদের সেই অনলির পরিবর্তে নাথিং বাট ব্যবহার করতে হবে। So dear students, I think you have got it. Now the third sentence. The third sentence is also contains with only, and here the word only indicates numbers. Here the word indicates number, and we know if the word only indicates any number, then we will use not more than or not less than instead of the word only. So the answer will be there are not more than 2 types of internet. In Bangla we can say, যদি অ্যাফার্মেটিভ সেন্টেন্সে অনলি থাকে এবং অনলি যদি কোনো অনলি দ্বারা যদি সংখ্যা প্রকাশ পায়, তাহলে সেই অনলির পরিবর্তে আমাদেরকে নট মোর দ্যান অথবা নট লেস দ্যান ব্যবহার করতে হবে। So dear students, follow the next sentence, number 4. Here we have got a word that must. We know if any affirmative sentence contains with the word must, instead of this word must we will use cannot but or cannot help. So the answer will be we cannot but use internet for good purposes. Dear students, follow. Here the word must, it has some alternatives. If the sentence contains with have to or has to, have to or has to, then we will also like the same thing, that is cannot but. So dear students, instead of have to or has to, we can also use cannot but. If we use cannot help, then we will have to add ing with the main verb. So dear students, I think you have got it. Now the fifth sentence. Here the affirmative sentence contains with or begins with every. We know if any affirmative sentence begins with every, to make it negative, we have to use there is no instead of every. So the answer will be there is no body. Follow the board. Dear students, we use instead of every there is no, and after there is no we use the immediate after word body, and after that we have to use a word that is but. That is but. There is nobody but avoids a corrupted man. In Bangla we can say যদি affirmative sentence every দিয়ে শুরু হয় তাহলে আমাদের every এর পরিবর্তে there is no ব্যবহার করতে হবে এবং there is no এর পরে every এর পরের শব্দটি লিখতে হবে এবং তারপর আমাদের একটি but যোগ করতে হবে। এখানে একটা অল্টারনেটিভ আছে। If any sentence contains with everybody and the sentence is also contains with has, then we have to use without instead of but. For example, we can say every rose has a thorn. Here the negative answer will be there is no rose without a thorn. There is no rose without a thorn. So dear students, I think you have got it. Now the number 6. The number 6 sentence is Haji Muhammad Mohsin was a very kind man. Dear students, in this case the sentence has no special symbol like must, only, every, but the sentence is contains with an auxiliary verb that is used here as an main verb. In this case we have to use not after this main verb, and we have to use the opposite word of these sentences root word. এখানে সেন্টেন্সটাতে কোনো ক্লু নাই, এখানে জাস্ট সেন্টেন্সটার ভিতরে আছে অক্সিলারি ভার্ব যেটা মেইন ভার্ব হিসেবে ব্যবহৃত হয়েছে। আর আমরা জানি যদি কোনো সেন্টেন্স অক্সিলারি ভার্ব মূল ভার্ব হিসেবে ব্যবহৃত হয় এবং সেন্টেন্সটিতে যদি কোনো অক্সিলারি ভার্ব নাও থাকে তাহলে সেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের কি করতে হবে, আমাদের অক্সিলারি ভার্বের পরে নট বসাতে হবে এবং এতে কিওয়ার্ড আছে কিওয়ার্ডের বিপরীত রূপ লিখতে হবে। সো দ্য আনসার উইল বি Haji Muhammad Mohsin was not an kind. The word kind, keyword kind, and its opposite word is unkind. So we will use unkind instead of kind. Man. And dear students, here we have got another thing, that is very. If any affirmative sentence contains with very, then we will have to use at all instead of very. So we will write at all at the end of this sentence, at all. So the answer is Haji Mohammad Mohsin was not an unkind man at all. Now the next sentence. It destroys everything. Dear students, follow the sentence. It destroys everything. Here, in the sentence, there is no auxiliary verb. I think you have already understood what types of sentence it is. So, to change this sentence into negative, we will use do as auxiliary verb. Do as auxiliary verb. And we have to change this sentence into negative. So, after this auxiliary verb do, we have to use not. We have to use not. So the answer will be it does not. Dear students, here the subject is a third person and the end of the verbs contains with s. So we will use es with the auxiliary verb do, and then we will write not, and then we have to change another thing, that is keyword. That is keyword. Here we have to use the opposite word of this keyword everything. The opposite word of this everything is anything. So it does not produce anything. It does not produce anything. Dear students, follow. Here we have to change the two keywords of this sentence, that is destroys. The opposite word of this word destroy is produce, and the opposite word of the word everything is anything. In Bangla we can say, যদি কোনো সেন্টেন্সে অক্সিলারি ভার্ব না থাকে তাহলে আমরা জানি সেন্টেন্সটি হয় প্রেজেন্ট ইনডিফিনাইট অথবা পাস্ট ইনডিফিনাইট। তো সেন্টেন্সের গঠন থেকে আমরা বুঝতে পারলাম সেন্টেন্সটি হচ্ছে প্রেজেন্ট ইনডিফিনাইট টেন্সে, যেহেতু সাবজেক্টের পরে ভার্বের প্রেজেন্ট ফর্ম আছে এবং ভার্বের সাথে এস যোগ আছে। তো এই জাতীয় সেন্টেন্সকে নেগেটিভ করতে হলে আমাদের কি করতে হবে? আমাদের একটা অক্সিলারি ভার্ব ব্যবহার করতে হবে। আমরা জানি প্রেজেন্ট ইনডিফিনাইটের ক্ষেত্রে কোনো সেন্টেন্সকে যদি নেগেটিভ করতে হয় তাহলে অক্সিলারি ভার্ব হিসেবে আমরা ডু ব্যবহার করি, এবং যদি ভার্বের সাথে এস বা ইএস থাকে তাহলে আমাদেরকে কি করতে হয়? ডু এর সাথে ইএস যোগ করতে হয়। এবং যেহেতু সেন্টেন্সটা নেগেটিভ করতে হবে তাহলে আমরা এই অক্সিলারি ভার্বের পরে নট ব্যবহার করব, এবং সেন্টেন্সটিতে যে কিওয়ার্ড দুটি আছে তার বিপরীত শব্দ ব্যবহার করব। তো আমরা এখানে কি করেছি? ডেস্ট্রয়ের বিপরীত অপোজিট ওয়ার্ড প্রডিউস এবং এভরিথিং এর অপোজিট ওয়ার্ড এনিথিং ব্যবহার করেছি। So dear students, I think you have got it. Now the next sentence. The next sentence is contained with to. We know if any affirmative sentence contains with to, we will use so dash dash that instead of to dash dash to. So the answer will be they are so polite that. Dear students, after using that, we have to write the subject of this sentence again, and that is they. Then we have to use cannot or could not according to the tense of this sentence. So the sentence is in the present tense, so we will use cannot. Cannot. If the sentence will in the past tense, or if the sentence would in the past tense, then we have to use could not after the subject. So then what should we will do? Then we will write after the next words of this sentence. We cannot, they cannot misbehave with others. Dear students, I think you have got all these sentences. Now I am going to write some more example. Now the number 9. The number 9 sentence is contains with both dash and. We know we can use not only but also instead of both and, both dash and. So the answer will be not only the government but also the people should work together. So dear students, now the next sentence. We will always remember our freedom fighters. Here the affirmative sentence contains with the word always. We know instead of always we can use or we will use never. Here you have to change another thing, that is the keyword. That is the keyword. Here we will use never instead of always and the opposite word of this keyword. So the answer will be we will never forget our freedom fighters. In Bangla we can say অলওয়েজ যুক্ত অ্যাফার্মেটিভ সেন্টেন্সকে নেগেটিভ করতে হলে আমাদের অলওয়েজের পরিবর্তে নেভার ব্যবহার করতে হবে এবং কিওয়ার্ডের বিপরীত রূপ লিখতে হবে। সো ডিয়ার স্টুডেন্টস, হিয়ার দ্য কিওয়ার্ড ইজ রিমেম্বার and the opposite word of this word remember is forget. Now the number 11. The number 11 sentence is contains with as soon as. We know if any affirmative sentence contains with as soon as, instead of as soon as we have to use no sooner had, no sooner had, and we have to change another two things of these sentences. That is the main verb of this sentence. The main verb of this sentence will be past participle. And instead of comma, we have to use a conjunction, that is than. That is than. So the answer will be no sooner had he seen her than he was attracted by her beauty. So dear students, I think you have got it. The next sentence. The next affirmative sentence contains with s dash dash s. We know instead of s dash dash s, we can use not less than. Not less than. So the answer will be the Americans are not less polite than the English. Now we will solve the next sentence, number 13. There are many rivers in our country. We know if any affirmative sentence contains with many, then we have to use not a few instead of many. So the answer will be there are not a few rivers in our country. So dear students, now the next sentence. I have a few friends. Here the affirmative sentence contains a phrase a few. We know if any affirmative sentence contains with a few, then we will use not many instead of a few. So the answer will be I have not many friends on Facebook. I think you have got it. Now I am going to solve the number 15 sentences. The number 15 sentence contains with a phrase a little. We know if any affirmative sentence contains with a little, we will use not much instead of a little. Not much. So the answer will be I have not much knowledge about physics. Now the last sentence I have written on the board. Dear students, besides these sentences, there are some rules, but today I am not written these sentences. In my next class, I will try to show you the rest of these rules of affirmative to negative sentence. Now I am going to solve the last sentence. That is, he has much money. He has much money. Dear students, you know if any affirmative sentence contains with the word much, then we will use not a little instead of much. Not a little instead of much. So the answer will be he has not a little money. Dear students, I think you have got all the rules today I have written on the board. In my next class, I will show you how we can change assertive sentence into interrogative sentence. Till then, stay at home and stay healthy. Goodbye. Khuda Hafiz.